Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker, joined by Keith Fusel as usual. Keith, we have 10 races coming up. The main track's fast, the turf is firm.
Yep.
Couple of tough fields lined up.
Yeah.
I was going over this, I think, in my late pick 4. I think I went 6 deep in one of them.
Wow. Today and tomorrow, they're difficult cards. Yesterday, we had a chalk fest. I was surprised. So many favorites. We didn't even have a winner. Double-digit winner on the entire racing card. I think that'll change this afternoon into tomorrow. So I'm certainly planning on it. But, yeah, beautiful day. Temperatures are down. I mean, it is chilly right now kind of here in the shores. In the shade, it's probably in the mid-60s. Track is fast. Turf is firm. And I'm looking for a good day of racing.
70 Fahrenheit right
right.
now. Very comfortable
Feels
temperatures
chilly.
here. Well, compared to, of course,
yesterday.
different temperatures on the other days, for sure. But this is just perfect. Of course, we are gearing up for a huge weekend as well with those summer turf stakes coming up tomorrow, as well as Father's Day. So very, very excited.
Yeah.
Got a 10 race card, so we might as well get going.
All right.
We start with race number 1, 5.5 furlongs on the main track here. A conditioned $5,000 claim. Or do have video spotlights? So might as well start with those, because those are your top 3 horses. Degas, as well as Here We Go. Now, Here We Go outbroke Degas in the first few strides, kind of took the lead, whilst Degas had to come over from the outside. Now, both together set very, very fast early splits.
Yeah, they went out there pretty quick. When you go sub 23 at Pimlico, going 6 furlongs, I mean, you're rolling along pretty good. And you see these two separate themselves from the field. Degas even opens up a little bit, shifts in towards the inside. Here we go, angled out, came back, and on the far outside, the Great Dansky is going to just steadily grind and get up. You see Degas kind of go over
with
that
perfect
left
pace
lead.
setup.
Yeah,
though.
Beautiful pace setup. But I tell you, Degas needed the fast track. Got back to it last time. I mean, was overmatched 2 races back was Degas in that starter. Here's a little stat, though. I like this. Past 3 years, Frock, 6 for 21, 29%. Second off of a 45 to 180-day layoff there. ROI, it's a positive one, of 219. These two look like the speeds again. See if they can control it at this shorter distance of 5.5 furlongs. Slight edge to Degas today. Going to be a little bit better price. And I tell you, the Frock barn is set up for a big day. They've got runners in what? 1, 3, 5, and 10, and they are all live. Yeah. Interesting. Could be.
We'll see if they're in the winner's circle. We'll all know about
It'll
it.
be,
Hefty celebrations every single time. So it's a pleasure to see, of course. I used one of your runners on top. Here we go. Love the way he came back after being headed by Degas. I thought that was a very, very gutsy performance. Then I also used Big Rinny, because we have the same speedsters again in here. Who's to say they aren't going to do the same thing and kind of rev each other up and set that fast early split? I thought perhaps Big Rinny is a type of runner that would come rolling belatedly. Now, this is the shortest he's gone in his career. But the pace is going to be there.
Certainly.
So I wanted a runner that could really keep on grinding it out late, and I think Big Rinny kind of fits that bill.
Yeah, it's been a while. I like him maybe a touch longer, but you're right. The flow's going to be good. The real question mark horse is Nova Boy. Finally back in the barn of Figgins, right? Same owner-trainer here, combo. And they had a lot of luck with this 7-year-old on the go-back, with steadily running buyers in the, high 60s, mid-70s. Lost some speed, but freshened up. The works are ablazing at Charlestown right now. Would be absolutely no surprise to make the move. He's had a little bit more tactical speed in the past when you go back, when he was with the Figgins barn. So I'd be really kind of reluctant to let that guy slip out of my exacta boxes.
Yeah, I used him underneath. I guess in a way I was using this age a little bit against the fact that he was tailing off ever so slightly. Does he still have that speed? Morning work suggests so. We'll have to see it on race day. Of course, we'll find out soon enough. Race number 2 is the start of the early pick 4. How are we going to play today, Keith?
Yeah, well, we lost money. We hit the ticket and lost a couple bucks yesterday. That's the way it goes when it's Chalkorama. But here we go. 1-3-7 to get you started. Bartolino, Battle of Memphis. These look like the two. I think Flank Speed has a chance. A little tinkering with the equipment. The blinkers come off. Flank Speed on one of his better races can beat this field. Race 3, 4 and 5. Rational Millennium, Divine Victory. Race 4 with the 1 and the 3. Fun while it lasted. It's going to be her race to lose. Back on a firm turf course. I think she makes the front and goes. Race 5, 2, 4, 5, 7. Really Non-winners at 2-1 life for the nickel. Nobody you can really trust. There you go. I've got a spread there. $24 for that early pick 4 ticket.
So in race 2, 5.5 furlongs, our first turf event. Rail set at 17 feet. I landed on Bartolino on top. I know you have him in your exacta as well. That was a very strong performance last time. Perhaps a little bit of a premature move. Ends up getting called belatedly, but a very honest run race. The pace was there. Bartolino was close enough. I'm hoping that today he can go one better. And if you look back, he's had some pretty gaudy figures on the turf. Now, one of them going longer, but I liked what he showed going short, that it wasn't really a problem coming back so steeply after those couple of longer tries.
He's pretty versatile. If he avoids any kind of trouble into the turn, he'll sit. He can go forward in this field, or he can sit just off of it. He'll make the move. He made a move into a pretty brisk space. Stronger field last time. Slight drop. Tough to deny out of your exactas and trifectas would be Bartolino with a clean trip. Interesting horse here. Battle of Memphis comes in for me. Jeff Ronco, Arnold Boca Chica. This combo wins a lot of races. High percentage. Only real hiccup on the page when you really look at it numbers-wise was the race on the dirt. So it gets back to a preferred surface, can handle turf, can handle synthetic, has handled brakes, working okay at Charlestown. I think, well, the birds are invading.
It's some company.
Wow. First it's squirrels, now it's birds. What's next? I'm telling you.
You tell me. You tell me.
Battle of Memphis, somewhere from just off the pace. I'll use that one. Got a key around the 1 and 3, and flank speed, as we talked about, has a chance. The blinkers come off. One of its better races can close into this.
Yeah, Battle of Memphis, a little bit of unknown factor in here, making his kind of debut here on the turf at Laurel. Has been very effective on the West Coast. Can he kind of apply that here as well is the question for me. I use a runner on the outside, Putin online for Serenega. Second after a small break here. Had some trouble in that last outing. Had an excuse on the go back. The figures are certainly there. Hoping to just create some value as well. This is a fun figure.
Yeah, a little hiccup last time. Hung wide. He's got to drop in to save some ground to enhance the run. Bourbon and Ice has been steady. Really got a great trip last time, and should be able to kind of drop in behind the speeds again and bring a run. Kind of a good number, top number on the turf last time for Bourbon Ice. But Bartolino, Battle of Memphis, if they bring their better turf races, they're right there. Battle of Memphis faced some okay horses out there in California.
I agree. I think my only concern with him was a couple of the breaks, and now coming here to this circuit, is he going to be able to reproduce? Does he need perhaps a race to kind of get his bearings here? Race number 3, mile and 16 around the 2 turns here. Maiden claiming event, $10,000 to $8,000 for fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Key around the same horse. There are a couple of scratches in here, so by default ended up going elsewhere. Take out Kisses for Hand, the number 6. Take out the number 2, A Little Slice of Pie as well. Both you and I key around the 4 and the 5. Divine Victory being the 5 for trainer Charles Frock. You were mentioning how live the Frocks were here. You have her on top. Last time out, close to a pretty hefty pace as well. They were not holding back at Pimlico on the day.
No, they weren't. A little trouble early, too, and then having to make a move, a wide move, and sustain at this level is very tough. Gonna need a cleaner trip. I think can do it at a mile and 16th. We got a shorter field to draft in. Barbosa, he's not afraid of saving ground, tucking up behind rivals. Take a little shot. Color of a Cloud, we know her game. She's gonna give you effort. She's gonna knock on the door. Will she get through the door? We don't know. Rational Millennium looks like the speed. To me, that's your 4 horse.
And that's the reason I used her on top, because of the aforementioned scratches. It looks like Rational Millennium on the drop with that pace angle could possibly make a move running away with it. So I didn't want to get caught out there. It was a pure pace point of view that I had her on top here. And of course, a little bit of class relief will help as well. But yeah, Color of a Cloud making her 33rd career start. You have to use her underneath. She's run second 11 time now. Keeps on trying. 5-year-old mare for the Karen McGee barn. I keep saying every time, if she gets a job done, I'm very, very happy for the connections and for the trainer. But I keep using her underneath because that's kind of what she keeps doing, running second and third, and kind of reliable doing so. So that's how you create those exact trifecta plays.
That's exactly right. From a gambling standpoint, that's where you have had to kind of place her in your wagers.
Yeah, race number 4, we're back on the turf again, a mile and 8 the distance on the grass. Optional claim a start allowance for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up. The VO spotlight on my top selection, Winter Princess for Steve Clasaris, 2 starts back. That was very, very impressive. She had the inside draw that day. she drove back. She took her time to warm up. Irad Ortiz aboard, ends up kind of switching further towards the outside, splitting a couple of horses. But I loved, once she got a clean run, he just slingshotted her around the bend.
Yeah, didn't really have any issues there. Kind of a little knifing between horses and shifting out. A good progression and a solid finish here, top of the stretch. Asserts herself and goes on clear by 4 and some change. Yeah, the only question, you look at the number. It's a 20-point jump from the prior, and so it's got that little hand time there. Little question. But she beat a couple next out winners as well out of that race. Comes out of a key race. So I think has to be used and might be a little bit more tactical than In a Spin, who had a really brisk pace. But I really like the way In a Spin finished up outside of rivals last time. Gets a little extra ground. Fun While It Lasted, though, is going to be my top selection. Some good figs going back in some stakes races in New York last summer. The speed didn't want any part of that boggy kind of a going at Penn National last time. Comes back, Toledo stays. Takes him a long way in here. I don't really see anybody to kind of go with her. And even Color Crush is a price. She's better than her last race. I don't know what happened there.
I agree with you. I think Color Crush is that kind of a liable closing type. Now, at my own peril, not using Fun While It Lasts, of course, Brittany Russell, Chevy and Toledo, a team that we do see very, very successful throughout the circuit here. Yeah, I like In a Spin coming in here. Lightly raced individual, really starting to go up through the ranks here and doing well. I thought that last win kind of coming from the clouds belatedly. It's pretty impressive. If she can produce that again, there should be enough flow for her in this field. Race number 5 is a $5,000 nominated to lifetime race, 5.5 furlongs, that's sprinting distance. And then we actually used the exact same horses. Not many races today that's the case. I had a look when I was writing in your picks. I was like, yep, nope, different. But here we're in unison. Let's hope that bodes well. We both landed on Francis X in here for trainer Donald Barr. McClovey Enriquez Jr. takes the ride, gets back down to that $5,000 level, having applied his trade at higher levels. Broke maiden for maiden 10 though. We keep saying this. You break your maiden for maiden 10 unless you really start progressing. This is the kind of level you'd like to be at, and I'm hoping that it's going to freshen him up as well. Second after a small break, always in angle 2. Had a bad start though too, lost him out. So if you want to get an excuse there, you have it.
Yeah, a little bit of questionable speed in here with the likes of Baltimore Bud, Abhar with some speed. I think Pit Stop Man with a good break is going to be with the flow. But Francis S., last time, steady at the break. Speed kind of carried in that race. Runners up top, Jimmy the Kid, a next out winner, DeShackle, just the winner yesterday. So, a cleaner break. Mac Enriquez, another one. He's not afraid. He'll save ground, let things develop up front, and try to work out the trip. So don't get hung wide. Stick towards the inside and make a run into it. Don't forget the Blink. Interesting. Didn't run terrible last time. This horse might slip away at an okay price. A little drop behind DeShackle, Jonas Round Kurt. Again, the 3rd and the 4th of June. Inside was really good. This one was hung out 3 wide. A little bit more speed with the blinkers on last time. Second blinks today. Another kind of runner there at an okay price at a stalk and pounce kind of trip.
Yeah, I looked back at that race. So the second Jonas Round Kurt horses that do keep their form and that were a good indicator of how strong that race was. And don't forget to Blink tried, couldn't match up with those. So I think in here, much better prospects. Agreed. And then both of us used Pit Stop Man underneath as well, who actually had a fair bit of trouble last time out. Got shuffled around, tried his best. It was a big reversal from his form going longer. So I thought it was an encouraging run. And yes, on paper it might not look that good, but I think it was sneakily better than the running line might suggest.
Agreed. Got in trouble, made the move, a little flattening. Divine Proportion came back. Big race yesterday, right at 21-1. Where that money came from last time, it was an awful morning line by me, which just hammered down at the window. So I come back, that's why I kind of...
Well, double-digit beats going into this, longer. I wouldn't have seen it coming either.
A lot of money showed up. We'll see some money show up again, hence a little bit lower on the line. But, certainly a player with a clean break is going to be with the flow.
Yeah. We'll go for a quick message. Stay with us.
And here comes Point of Entry. Point of Entry's taking the lead. Point of Entry wins.
Placou Parfait is finishing hard along the inside. Placou Parfait takes out the Derby.
Welcome back to Laurel Park. We have 10 races lined up for you. We're on race number 6, a maiden claiming $25,000 to $20,000 event for the ladies. Is on the turf, mound 16, rail set at 17 feet. And we do have a video spotlight on your top selection. I have her in second. I thought they were all pretty closely matched, but let's look back at her last race. Yeah. She jumped to the front with relative ease. I actually think that Forest Boyce kind of had to rein her in a little bit. You can see that she's kind of like, all right, take it easy, don't use up too much energy. Was getting that forward placed, going into the turn, ends up getting shuffled back. And I watched this a couple of times. I'm going to be quite honest. I think Forrest should have allowed it to roll up a little bit more, and that would have stopped this from happening.
How dare you talk about my girl Forest Boyce?
No, I think she's a great rider, but this here, if she made it, might have like allowed to slide forward, she could have kept her position.
Yeah, and I think maybe it was just a little bit of a surprise, right? I mean, she wasn't really maybe expecting the convergence from each side, and she really does get shuffled back and gives away probably 4, 5, even 6 lengths. I liked Mela Panini that day. I'm going to use her again this afternoon. Again, I think we'll be forward enough to go ahead and track. Let's hope the shuffling doesn't happen early. Very willing to the wire, a little switch of the leads, but family long on the turf. It's there. So I'm going to come back another shot here with Mela Panini B. Susan Cooney with some live runners today.
Well, I have her in second because she fought for that third place. I know that Cupid Strike, as we saw in the video, was long gone, but the rest of the field pretty tightly bunched. Yes. Mela Panini B, aside from that trouble, still able to keep on going, keep on running. So I have her in second. I landed on Molise here for trainer Michael Trombetta, who was really up against it in that $75,000 maiden claimer at Belmont Park. Her first time going long. She got outgassed from the get-go, went widest of them all into the stretch. I think she just finds a better group here, much more to her liking.
Overland trip, you talk about it. Big field, hung out outer post, and just never really kicked on, but the class drop should pick her head up. Foxtrot Seville had a little issue there. I mean, has run some okay races, has a tendency to flatten, but really did get bottled up from about the quarter pole to just past the 3/16 last time. I think we'll bring a little bit better finish with a cleaner trip in here. I'm 4.861. Go Chanel, Damon in the turf, and they just don't get along. Blinkers go on. Blinkers on, a good move for Damon though, and I tell you, the breeding suggests longer and turf. So I'm going to give another shot. Go Chanel kind of got going a little bit late last time. Carolina Sun Wink came back to run okay. Now that was sprinting. I think the stretch out is definitely, if she's going to move up, it's going to be with this longer distance.
Yeah, I throw in Postbox as well. Of course, that team of Norm Cash as well as William Humphrey. We've seen a couple upset winners there, and it's going to be her second time going along. Really changed up her running style last time out, being so much more closer to the pace. I was kind of surprised with that, and ends up paying the price for it later on. So I think her best game or ammo is probably sitting that mid-pack and making that one move to make sure that she still has plenty left in the tank. But this is a fun race coming up.
I had that horse on top the other day, was scratched out of a dirt race. Now goes here. I will be using in the exact because I do think that horse is going to stay around. That's Postbox.
Yeah, this is one of those races that you want to use a couple horses, right? That's how you play it as well. A couple horses with value to create possibly that good payout for your exact.
And real quick, a little breeding note on the one, Go Chanel. Half the Color Crush, who we've seen, obviously can handle the distances one at 1.1 miles. So there's your comparison there with the family. It's just real Damon. It's just sometimes funny. You get in the barn, some horses, they just don't take to it. I think this one might, going around the ground. You're going to get an okay price too.
It's an angle I like as well. When they go on the turf for the first time, they go short and they're outpaced. Well, who's not to say that when they go longer and they're actually among friends, can get that breath going, can kind of get to relax and just keep on going, you might just see a completely different horse. We haven't tried it yet. It's an unknown. So don't leave Go Chanel out either, especially if you want to get a bit of a payoff when it comes to that value. Race number 7, optional claimant starter, allowance 7 furlongs. The distance there, son of the late pick 4. And this is how I play it. I go very, very deep and then I single belatedly. So 3 deep here in race 7 using the number 1 Pliant Leah as well as the number 3 Joe Mike Jim and swaying to and fro. And then in race number 8 I go 2 deep there. It's kind of all or nothing. Trevis for trainer Phil Antonucci as well as Rambird for trainer Michael Stidham. I think she's going to be very interesting coming in here. She's done nothing wrong as of yet, but is coming off a lengthier layoff. Class-wise, you think she'll have them, but yet to be seen. Race 9, I went 6 deep, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, and 10, because that first level allowance 5.5 furlong sprinted is wide open. I was looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what? I can make a case for more than half of the field. So I went deep, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get a good bit of value here. Let's hope it won't be the favorite winning. Then in race number 10, I single because I had to find a way to keep that ticket cost down. A girl named Jack for Hugh McMahon. She tried so hard on that off the turf event, gets back on the turf, has that race under her belt. Jean Novello, Hugh McMahon do well together, so she's my lock-in in race number 10.
Even if you bump it up, add a horse in the last, I kind of like Fast Lonnie as a speed, dangerous to carry him a long way. Still a $36 ticket, manageable, and like I said, you've got that race is just a spread race, the 9th.
Yes.
Lots and lots.
There
lots
is
of
so many ways to go.
Yep.
I was looking at it again this morning, and I must admit, I just don't have a strong enough opinion there because I feel like they're closely matched. But we'll get to that in a second. Option claimant starts allowance race number 7. Already mentioned the distance here. Katie, you landed on Pliant Leah for trainer Jamie Ness. This is going to be second start for Ness Bond after being acclaimed. Look, she's done nothing wrong in her last handful of starts. No. She's able to stalk. She's able to kind of sit and make a move into it. Don't particularly think the 7 furlong distance cut back would be any worries because she's tactical and she has that kind of speed. I think there's a couple faster in here than her.
No doubt.
She'll have to actually come from a little bit further back even perhaps.
And that inside draw a little bit. Hope she doesn't get shuffled too much early. She'll just draft back, it looks like, because there are some quick fillies and mares in here, swaying to and fro. Thief of Hearts. They're going to provide your pace. But route to sprint, a good angle for Ness. Second off the claim. I think she can move up a little bit and maybe just steadily come and get this field. But swaying to and fro, the speed, the tenacity, you like that combination. Looks like 7/8, even more of a, maybe a slightly more relaxed flow, should go ahead and carry her a little further. She's going to go for her 3rd straight win. Second off the claim here for Mario Sorey, just gets the miracle bob. Look at this coming to the wire.
Oh, it looked like she's about to get bested by Date Night Kisses there, who came from off the pace, but swaying to and fro, incredibly tenacious there to the wire. I had her on top, and in the end I put her in second because it's a quick 13-day turnaround after that victory, which I think she did have to fight for. That probably took a little bit out of her. She would have run even sooner if not for a vet scratch on June the 12th. So I'm just thinking, yes, she might be doing well, but I just hope it hadn't taken too much out of her, and I don't know if it's too quick of a turnaround. So that's why I ended up using her in second. I went with Joe Mike Jim for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. First time against Elder Ladies. Gonzalez Barn is rolling 3 from 3 yesterday with J-Ron Barbosa on board as well. Might not have liked that sloppy surface at Pimlico, and the Gonzalez Barn just wasn't firing at that track. Now back again at Laurel Park. I think that's just going to suit her.
Agreed. Definitely a little bit better number. Topped at a 68 on the dirt 2 races back. You saw the comment that day. Off of a duel. Certainly might get off of a duel today with the speed types of the 4 and the 6. Maybe a little reach with Plymouth, because it's not really a reach with Ness as much as he wins, but a little bit better price for you there. There you go. On to the 8th.
Race number 8, maiden special weight, 5.5 furlongs sprinting distance here, 70 feet rail, and we landed both on the number 13. That is Rambert for trainer Michael Stidham. We haven't seen her in 320 days, but look, both starts to date very, very sharp. They clearly thought highly of her. They put her in the Keswick Stakes. She took that race by the horns, just got bested belatedly by a better horse on the day. She seems to be working very forwardly. The Bond is capable of producing runners after a layoff to win, but it is, of course, a question mark. We haven't seen her. She's now a 3-year-old. Is she going to be as sharp as she was as a 2-year-old?
She moves up a little bit off the figures, which she should project a little improvement, right? Maybe be able to run in a lower to mid-70s. She should be able to go by this field. I like the comment in debut, the long comment for Equibase. Sometimes read those footnotes. Finished strong. I like that. Second best. I would have gone finished strong in the short comment. Again, Cavalier Cupid came back and was favored in an optional allowance, I believe. Not too long. It came up a little empty that race. So certainly has run against the right types. Rambert, Stidham, 26% with the 3-year-olds off of a 180-day or more layoff. All systems go. From just on the outside, you go with her maybe at your peril, but with the time to develop, she might be able to just track a horse too as well and go on. You look at the breeding. I mean, Second Dam was all long on the grass. I think she's going to be able to stretch it out later if she wants to.
Yeah, I think she's, by the looks of it, the class of the field, but you don't want to sit on the Phil Antonacci trained Trevis either. Vivian Toledo takes the call here. She's been sprinting against the right kind. You look at that Keeneland maiden special weight. We know that the right kind of types of horses turn up there, perhaps trying to just find an easier spot.
Yes, go back 2 races. Stony Point ran big in allowance. I think up in New York, the figure was strong. Yeah, I think Trevis with a right kind of timed run and should be able to kind of sit tucked in behind the speed. She's not really as quick, I don't think, as Rambert. We had Vivi My Love show some more speed last time. So, yeah, I think she looks like a filly, may flatten just a touch. So the longer you can kind of hold her there behind horses, the better chance she has to fire home and sustain through the stretch. Swift Action is a firster for Trumbetta that intrigues me a little bit. Barn doesn't win a ton. More than Reddy's Turf, definitely. Conscription, the mare, ran around here 2 for 15, 7 for 15 in the money.
Yep.
Second dam, grade 3 stakes placed. Made $320,000. Was a really good horse. So that might be a live firster. And the one, Determined Hope, I think, like the Schoenthal weight the other day at a good price. Wants to sprint. I think this one wants to sprint.
Yeah, I used underneath as well because I remember the Phil Schoenthal runner on the grass doing a pretty decently. Wanted to make sure that I was on board as well there. Race number 9 is not our nightcap. We have 10 races today. So first level allows, like this is wide open. 5.5 furlongs to distance. We do have video spotlight on your exacta play. That is Summer Odds. We're going back to her run here at Laurel Park last summer. I thought it was a patient run and ride, kind of allowing her to settle before taking the shortest way home. Looked like a battle though, but I love the way Summer Odds eyeballed the other runner and then ended up being better in the final furlong.
Yeah, and watch her finish through the last 3/16 of a mile. Short comment, ridden out. All right, this is how we kind of give it. You know, a little sticky there, a little sticky, just a little light. And then steadily hand-ridden to the wire widening. You've got a barn that's not going to attract a ton of play. She got a little tougher draw in here, but some speed to the inside. Maybe wish this race was 6 instead of 5.5, but definitely a user. She is going great guns right now for Diana McClure and Bryson Butterfly. Summer Odds a price play. Another bomb shot to use. Petition Prayer. I've always liked this filly since the debut. Took a little play there. Slow start, full of run, improved a win on the dirt, then a great win on the turf. Was bet down 6-1, you know, in the Salima. A lot of time to grow up. Again, you've got to try to project improvement. You see her horse, she beats a horse like White Knuckle Flyer when you go back to her maiden score. Well, White Knuckle Flyer, same thing. Moved on to 3, get a little Lasix again. She improves up to a 77 the other day in an A other than. So why not Petition Prayer? You've got Barbosa, big price. I'll be using that one in exactas along with Summer Odds.
Well, guess who bested Petition Prayer on her first start? My price pay, RB Star. I mean, you set it up for me here.
I did.
Claudio Gonzalez trained. Yana Vilas actually takes the ride because I think Jaron Barbosa ends up on your top selection. So we're, this
Hammy with a story.
Nice
I like it.
Little head-to-head here. But look, I thought her last effort behind another woman, albeit it doesn't look very impressive, well beaten there. She did make all the running, tried very hard. That 62 buyer stacks up in here. She holds her own as well in time from US figures in a field that is ultra competitive. So I wanted to find a price play. I feel like I got it here. Was a little bit upset to see that Jane Barbosa wasn't on her anymore and that he went with your runner, but still, the 10-1 morning line that you're giving me, I'll gladly take with the Claudio Gonzalez runner that has run fast enough to besties.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and what do you do with Royal Whisper? Bet down, 60 cents to the dollar, caught the duel, rolled on past. I think I said cruised up in my long comment. Brittany Russell, number not really there, but the way this horse was betting visually, the way she did it, she's going to take a lot of play in here for this barn.
Yes.
Even Sweet Gracie, that you look at her, 2 really good rides by Alvello the last 2 times. Was it the off track, or is she just really getting good? You kind of got a little bit of a guess there, but man, impressive, determined, gritty wins the last 2. Like race 9 a lot. I'm probably going to lose a lot of money in this race. I'm going to invest a lot of money spreading her around.
I went 6 deep in race number 9 just because it's that wide open. What a tremendous betting race. Race number 10, the nightcap here. Optional claim is starter. Allowance 5.5 furlongs on the turf. We do have video spotlight. My top selection, a girl named Jack for Hugh McMahon. She tried that last time. It was an off-the-turf event. Actually, no, that wasn't off-the-turf. I watched the off-the-turf one. This is a little bit further back here in May of 2021. 2021, where she was able to stay close enough and then make a move into it. Look, she's an incredibly flexible runner. I keyed around that last race. That wasn't even on a preferred surface, and she came back with a badge. She's just all hot.
And that
you see that here as well.
Yeah, it's kind of why I showed this video, Naomi, because showing the ability to win off of time. Now she's got the race under her belt. She beat a pretty good horse. Golden Can's kind of like a key when you see these 5/8 sprint races for the girls. Look at this run. Real good try coming back on the dirt. Sets her up beautifully in here. Faslani I'll use. Been entered in scratch numerous times just because of the weather. Finally gets the turf, gets back to it. Right behind horses like Olive Cat, in front of Buffs and Love. She goes to the front. Another live runner we talked about in the Frocks.
Well, so I have a question, though, with Faslani, because she was very good on the turf. Allowance level, claim a start allowance. Why wouldn't they maybe protected her and try and go in for an allowance race? Why are we in here? Is that just being aggressive, or is that meaning that she's not doing that great?
That's the $1,000,000 question. Exactly.
I guess
why
we're going to
play the
find
game,
that.
right?
Yeah,
I
mean, because that last race on the off-going, now that was albeit on the main track, but she was so far beaten. I just don't know if that means she's not doing that great. They gave her a freshener. She'll come back to her old self because of the turf. But yeah, I mean, I don't leave her out. She's very, very fast when she's on song. So I definitely will keep my eye on her. But just, slight question mark there for me.
There's the man. You can ask him right here. He's coming through the paddock right now. He's going to give us a story. We're running out of time, Snake.
We'll definitely ask after. I use Summer Velvet as well. I think she's very fast. First time on the turf. Dortmund, 2 turf sprint starters to date. So not that many, but one of them's won already. So I think that's a good sign in here. As we might as well move on to lightning
round. You got it.
Look at that. What a banner day for young Jaron Barbosa, who in conjunction with Claudio Gonzalez did incredibly well. This is his 3rd win on the day, deshackled in the last one on the first time start to Esperana in race number 3, as well as on Bacaneco. Like he just seems to be happy to be back at Laurel.
Absolutely. Teaming up with Claudio, a dangerous, dangerous combination. And how about Esperana, all the money she took? You know, we had it as a stat play. Yeah, hoping we could get maybe 2-1, right? 5-2. Nope. Just got hammered. And got away slowly, too, and was able to recover. Got her out in the clear, relaxed off a contested pace, and it was over by the time they hit the top of the stretch.
Yeah, no, that was a great day for both Claudio Gonzalez as well as Jaron Barbosa. So I do want to point out that there, of course, is Royal Ascot happening currently. Actually, we're on the last day right now. They might be close to running a couple of the last races, but we had some American contenders coming over, including the Graham Motion Trade Spenderella. She was unbeaten when going over, was lining up in an incredibly tough Group 1 Coronation Stakes field. And look, she really, really had to dig in to get that second. Now in Spiral, the victress, in the end, she was already a Group 1 victress. She was unbeaten as well. Came back after a layoff for trainer John and Thady Gosden. So look, clearly in Spiral, just an impeccable talent, but Spenderella kept her head up.
Absolutely. She'll come back here and make some noise, no doubt about it, get back on the winning track. Yeah, I liked her. I'd seen her, in the running lines of one of the horses there. Unfortunately, the McGahee horse was scratched. I think that was her debut down in Florida. But something to look forward to, and glad to see the locals, going over the Graham. I mean,
Graham Motion based at Fair Hill, and this was that straight mile at Ascot that really tests the quality of the runner. So very, very proud to see how well she did there. As we move on to your best bet of the day, Keith, you got the same top horse here. She's not my best bet, but I have her on top as well.
We hit yesterday. Wasn't a great price. I was still a little surprised. It's Just Waves, not surprised that the horse won, but the price that low. Rambert again, not going to be a super huge price. Maybe we can get 8-5, 2-1. We'll see. What do you think? Right to the front.
I think there's going to be some money coming in on it with the Shug McGahee horse being out as well.
That's
so
true. That hurts.
That kind of hurts us ever so slightly. Now, my best bet of the day is in race number 4, Winter Princess. Love that Gulfstream Park video that we showed. The way she slingshotted around that bend, went on the tapeta. Perhaps that dented her clothes a little bit. Now back on the turf. Now she is 5-2 in that field, but I still think that she looks to me like the one to beat. So I made her my best bet with hopefully a little bit of value. If some of the money comes in on fun whilst it lasts, perhaps on in the spin as well, will be solid. How about your value play today?
Yeah, I've got kind of two, and they're in the same race. So what I do a lot of times in these bigger fields, and you've got value, take two of them. Petition Prayer, Summer Odds, top and bottom in the exactas. Hopefully we catch a price. We talked about Summer Odds, really in good form right now. Had something left in the tank. Shortening up, but should be able to drop in, get a little cover, and bring a finish. I don't know if we've seen the best of her yet. Petition Prayer, $1. Projection, 2-year-old to 3-year-old, off time, but working well for Hammy. Was able to get Barbosa. Sneaks away, I believe, somewhere double digits.
Took my rider.
Yeah, took your rider, 10 to 12 to 1. Well, I had a little talk, and we made sure. We said, we're not going to give Naomi anything. No. But, yeah, just take a shot, top and bottom of the exactas. I mean, Brittany Russell's horse, I think, is going to get bet down to around 2 to 1. She happens to run out, or even with the exacta, it's going to pay okay value with one of those two hit in the top two.
This is such a spread race. My price play of the day also comes in there, and from the number 9 RB Star, who has a high draw compared with tactical ability for a red hot stable, and Claudio Gonzalez 10 to 1. She deserves a shot with figures that stack up well against D. So let's see who will end up on top in race number 9, because that seems right now to be shaping up as the betting race of the day.
It's good betting race, absolutely. But there's plenty other ones on this card, and get tied on for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a lot of intriguing races on tap.
Yeah, very, very excited for Father's Day. So do come and bring out your family here and celebrate. We have a buffet, we have a whiskey tasting, and of course the Summer Turf Festival, those 3 stakes races as well. Now I'll be back this afternoon with Calais Francois. In the interim, we'll send it upstairs to Dave Rotman with the scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.